Football, bloody hell. But they never give in. And that's the winner.
Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we're bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
4 picks against Grossman and 2 fumbles. What do you see about the Bears that would shut them down that way?
No, we just the Bears are what we thought they were. They're what we thought they were. We played them in preseason. Who the hell takes a third game in the preseason like it's bull? We played them in the third game. Everybody played 3 quarters. The Bears are who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Woo, sir, how we doing? How we doing? That quote, that audio clip that we've featured many times on this podcast before has never been more appropriate. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 3. United make a fucking meal of it and get beat up bad by the big rivals in the north. United just sloppy game in all areas in the first half. 2 bad Casemiro giveaways. Kobe gets robbed for the third one early into the second half. United toothless. Did create some chances in the last 30 minutes. Zirkzee had a couple big ones. Neither went through. We could have really used a goal or two. Joshua, we needed it. And yeah, Arne Slot gets first blood in the Dutch on Dutch off. And here we are. Erik ten Hag's already making excuses 3 games in. Sir, how we feeling? How we doing?
International break couldn't come soon enough, sir. I just got to go to Roy Keane real quick here.
I wouldn't even let him on the bus after the match. I get a taxi back to Manchester.
I mean, they are in Manchester, but I wouldn't let him on the bus after that match. Look, tough game. All around as a United fan, I predicted 3-1. Liverpool did us one better, 3-0 at home. This was always going to be a tough match, right? You look at United sputtering out of the gates. You thought maybe the smaller preseason could get us clicking, or Erik ten Hag could get his boys in and get them clicking, and that's not what happened. And Arne Slot, I thought, might stumble. He's got off to a hell of a good start. So this game, I felt going into it, Liverpool always had the edge. You look at the attack, it was way sharper than United. We're disjointed, new guys, new players trying to link up, but the middle of the park was horrid for United. It was 2 boxers sitting in the middle of the ring just slugging it out, and United were giving Liverpool better chances, and I felt like it was inevitable. Trent got the goal. That was disallowed by VAR. I'm like, okay, we're kind of playing risky here, and then eventually we let one in, and I thought at that point we had to make an adjustment and shut it down until halftime until we could get the lads in, make a sub, make a change or two, and then kind of go to win the game. I feel like that never happened. Conceding another before half, coming out we looked better, but it's always this kitchen sink like blowout plan A. Like Arne Slot won the tactical battle. Like he figured us out. It was really straightforward. We couldn't make the adjustment, and it turns into this throw the kitchen sink on, Hopium FC, and we just let another goal, 3-0. Could have been worse. United just didn't have the edge in attack. And to your point last pod, you said, hey, sit and counter might have been easier or more conservative, respect this team. But regardless, you can't be losing like this to our bitter rival at home. It's a tough one for the manager, tough one for the players, tough one for the American Red Devil family. But it's not over, sir. We got to back these lads. This season was always going to be tough. We called it. We shoot you straight. We're not like Hopium top 4. I said 7th. You said 6th. We're missing pieces in this team. Ineos is trying to work as much magic as they can with not a lot of money. So this season, I feel like we're starting to realize what it's going to be.
Yeah, we never set our bars too high, and we shouldn't lose our heads quite yet. It's 3 games in the season. We got a shit ton to go. We got 35 to go, so lots of game left to play. Just turned September 1st. But yeah, we made an absolute meal of it today. I think the big differential was mentality and what, have you been there before? Liverpool showed the fact that this is a team that's played together, that's won stuff, and they are cool under pressure. So they got their chances. A lot of them are United and imposed, but they took them every time. They got a good chance. They were clinical. Clinicality was at a high level for the Scouse Bastards, and I hate to say it, and United made a fucking meal of it, especially in the first half. The midfield, like you said, wide open. I thought United's defenders actually did a commendable job in that opening 30, right? The Ligt and Martinez were all over the place, bailing out the open midfield, and Casemiro had just a bad day. Kobe didn't look himself. Bruno looked super rusty, and everything about United was a mess. It was like we looked sloppy in possession, very eager in the opening 25, but I think we burnt out our legs quick, especially Zirkzee, and then he kind of came back a little bit in the second half, but he didn't take those chances, didn't have the same sharpness that Liverpool did. So we got to turn things around quickly. International break is a blessing and a curse. You don't want to carry a momentum into it, but you also don't want to carry bad news. So it's like they're going to be all over them. Probably rightly so to a certain extent, but let's, as United fans, it's going to be a long season. Let's just try and not get ahead of ourselves because United inflicted a lot of their worst wounds today, but United have a lot of things to figure out. We got a lot of things to figure out. The team's a mess.
3 from 9 to start the season after finishing 8th last year for Erik ten Hag. Not a good look for him. 600 million pounds plus spent. Look, everybody has the stats. They're going to be bludgeoning the man. Does he deserve it? I would say you got to give him time. Ultimately, it's looking like last season, like this Liverpool game. It wasn't quite shit football, but it is kind of wide open and nobody else plays this way because you're not going to win. So I do think he's still over his skis. Being stubborn in the press isn't going to help the pressure either. So you have to have a realistic view like, this is not good enough for Manchester United. None of us are trying to make excuses for that. But look, Ineos made a tough decision. There weren't a lot of managers in the market. They brought him back. We got to back him for the first 15. He has to be given time to make changes and try to figure this out. It was a tough start. Brighton are hot. Liverpool are hot. We're not for whatever reason. Give us time to get Ugarte in, see how that looks. If this continues, look, he's going to coach himself out of a job. There's no doubt about that. It's just, what is
it? Matter of when.
It's a matter of
timing.
Nobody's trying, anyone trying to say that, he's figured it out is crazy. It's just you could argue he needs more time, but if you play like this, by January, you're going to be gone. None of us want that to happen. I want him to figure this out. There's a lot of pieces. He's making a lot of excuses and getting defensive in the press. I don't like to see that, but we got to back this team. We got to have cool heads here. We got to see how this goes over the long term. We have a lot of games, a lot of new players. Let this thing settle. Losing to rivals is tough, but it is early. You have to stress it's early. That's not an excuse. That's the reality. So let's try to keep our heads about us, sir. And quick PSA for the podcast. If you like the America Devils, we are for fans by fans. We are on YouTube now trying to give you that Muppet take. Sir, we're giving you that cool heads must prevail Muppet take. What are we doing? We actually had a live stream today for the first time ever on our YouTube channel. What a game. It's going to be the American
What a game. How'd it go?
American Red Devils live stream curse. So now we have a new curse. If we stream a game live, we're going to get cooked. Had a lot of fun there. Thanks to everyone who showed up in the chat. Next one, we're going to telegraph a little more. Let everyone know when we're going to do it. It'll maybe the Chelsea game. We're looking at our calendars trying to figure out when we're going to do it. We had a lot of fun with that. So support our YouTube channel. Check us out. Our podcast is there as well. Like, subscribe, comment, do all those great things. Also, check out our Patreon page. If you want to support the Muppet Take, go the extra mile. We have a Patreon page. You can join us. Patreon.com/AmericaDevils. We do a behind-the-scenes episode every single month. We also have an amazing store with hats, shirts, scarves, Viva Garnacho scarf, Erik ten Hag's Red Army scarf, back the man. Get one of those if you're an Erik ten Hag hardo. Let's go. And AmericaRedDevils.com. for your Muppet Take in blog form. Sir, tell them about iTunes reviews.
iTunes reviews and 5-star reviews of the American Devils wherever you listen. It's a great way to support the pod. Helps us get found organically by other top Muppets like yourself. And even better, we're still giving away free merch. Just write a 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify and send a screenshot of that review to americadevils@gmail.com with your mailing address, and I'll personally pick, pack, and ship some free ARD gear, send it right to your door anywhere in the world. Here's a great review. A real Red Devils pod. Have been a Red Devils supporter for many years. Have tried a lot of podcasts, but I've always found the pods to be reading headlines and less original thoughts. John and Alex provide you with the major news, but also give you personal thoughts and feelings surrounding the news. Love the podcast. Thank you for the great review. Keep them coming. 5-star Reds on American Red Devils. Not so much on the pitch today, sir, at lovely old Trafford.
We're giving you the biased Muppet Take. We're on top of everything here at the American Red Devils podcast. And sir, we would love to give you a biased take about this game, but I don't think it's possible. Let's get into it. Who do we play?
Ever heard of them? I heard they're also from the north.
Let's get into it. The starting 11 from Erik ten Hag.
I like that music.
Andre Onana in net. Maz at right back. De Ligt gets his first start for Manchester United. Martinez, Dalot, Mainu, Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes midfield. Rashford on the left. Zirkzee up top. First start for United as well. And Garnacho on the right. Sandwich went to Chelsea. What am I talking about, sir?
So yeah, you won't be seeing much of him unless they finish 15th or worse. Big changes, right? De Ligt getting his first start as a Manchester United player. Same with Joshua Zirkzee. So he slots in. Mount got injured. Garnacho comes in for Ahmad. I didn't necessarily like to see Ahmad drop, but I like to see the entrance of Garnacho. Midfield was going to pick itself with Casemiro, Kobe, and Bruno, given that Ugarte is not ready to go yet. So I thought this was a good 11 for the manager. I thought it was the right moves to go. It's like, let's play a number 9. Let's play De Ligt. He's our new guy. So
he's our new guy.
He's our new guy.
He's our new guy.
And we know him.
Hey,
and he looked good at times. He's our new guy.
Hey, you need a new guy?
He's
I
the
got
new
a guy.
guy. He is the guy.
Hey, new guy.
He's him.
Hey, we got a striker. He's a new guy.
What's your thoughts about the 11?
He's stubborn until he's not. He changed a lot. I think he probably should have changed just a little, and I would have taken Rashford off, put Garnacho on the left in his best position, kept Ahmad there. The Zirkzee start, I can't disagree with, but man, he didn't look fit. So that one would come back and sting us. De Ligt looked good too. I don't know. This is sort of a everything at it Liverpool game. You win and die by the 11 you put out there.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the best 11 you have on paper available without injuries, right? It's like Garnacho and Rashford, Zirkzee, new guy, Casemiro, like you don't play kind of old, reliable Harry Maguire, you play De Ligt. So I think in some terms, this is the strongest we had on the day. But whether that was going to give you the best performance, clearly did not, sir. Clearly did not.
All right, sir. You want to walk through the game? Give me the key moments.
So it opened up frantic pace. United did look to push every chance, but they never had any kind of controlled possession. So we were super sloppy. We never got the ball, especially in the final third, sir. And they had an early showing their potency, showing how dangerous they are on the counter. 7th minute, Liverpool score after United's midfield is sliced through. VAR overturns after Mo Salah is involved in the build-up. He had a little bit of a heel click. He was slightly offside. VAR called that correctly, but United bailed out in what was a pace that they couldn't keep up. It was just too frantic, and Liverpool showed their calmness in possession. When they had the ball, they know how to cut a team open, and they did it. Almost every time they went up our side of the pitch with danger.
No, absolutely. And look, it was a tight game. It was back and forth, but I felt like Liverpool were comfortable with that because they knew that they were generating the better chances. And after the Trent VAR overturn, I was just really nervy. I was like, hey, I've seen enough. Like Mourinho famously said, hey, 15 minutes in, you know what it's going to be. And I felt like after 15 minutes, we should have probably shut down the risk a little bit and got a little packed in because being open was only going to give Liverpool more chances, and we would see them score in the 35th minute. No, say it ain't so.
Casemiro. Straight to Gravenberch. And Liverpool could be in business here. Across towards Szoboszlai. Luis Diaz arrived at the same time. And it's Luis Diaz who got his forehead there first.
All right, Diaz with the frosted tips. Don't love the heart symbol to the camera because you're killing me, Diaz. Wouldn't be the last one he got on the day. Tough start.
No, and this was like the story of the day. United just so sloppy. Casemiro gives the ball away in a dangerous position. Mazraoui's already pushed up the pitch, so he's got a hard time tracking back. Could have put a little bit more effort in, but he was probably gassed because United were playing at a frantic pace. He couldn't keep up. And, clinicality. Liverpool have it in abundance. It pains me to say it. 3 shots on target, 3 fucking goals. But this is like how the top teams score. Chip back City, back post, bang it in. Good finish from Diaz.
Nobody was there after it broke down either.
Unbelievable.
Classic. Let's get into it. 42nd minute.
He didn't have options, and he tried to nutmeg someone deep in his own half.
Casemiro caught in possession. Here's Diaz. Salah. And Diaz! It's 2. And it stems from another error by Casemiro.
More of that guy. At least we didn't have the kiss the camera one.
Oh my
You remember
God.
that? That gave me a little hope, and then we dashed it.
Casemiro rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, falls down, gives the ball to them. They're like, oh, sweet, we got numbers, attack, and score. Good finish from Diaz. United cooked. You concede 1, and I said you can't go into halftime down 2. We go into halftime down 2. At halftime, manager needs to make some calls, sir. What do you say? Do you agree with the changes?
Well, let's get another. I mean, just to that goal, you're absolutely right. So Casemiro again, Martinez should do better, ball watching, and you can't have it. Like you said, you're like, you got to close down shop, and you're giving up shitty goals. They're taking great advantage of it. You know, they deserve, like, it's a great finish, but we're giving them great opportunities, you know, and United couldn't control the ball, calm things down. So headed into halftime, you're like, you got to do something. You wanted 3 changes. I wanted 2. He settled for 1.
I mean, it was a good change.
I mean, it was the right change because
Destroyer comes in for Casemiro left after halftime, apparently. Didn't stay to the end of the game. You don't like to see that, right? You know, this is like a whole nother.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. On the 1st of September, window just closes. Oh, my God.
I don't know if that's confirmed.
Is that true?
I saw a post on social. It could be fake news, you know, but like it looked not great. But, you know, so.
Look not great.
Yeah,
today looked not great.
Look, the sub comes in. I like this one. Took cojones, put the youngster in the middle of the park. He played well. You know, he gave it away a few times, but I thought he played well. And so there's somebody that could back up Ugarte, like release the pressure a little bit on the Uruguayan coming in. He's basically like, hey man, you need to solve this whole problem we have. Like he's got to be looking on the bench like, holy, like no one's talking about like Ugarte watching that game, be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, you're the man now. You're gonna fix all this. You're gonna slow down all these players. Mo Salah, this other guy, Diaz.
He's like, holy crap. You know, so that wasn't going to solve all of our problems. We did come out with a little pep though, so credit to the lads. 52nd minute. Nice Zirkzee curler saved by Allison. That was like the first real chance of the game. But unfortunately, 56th minute, they don't need much to hurt us because the Scouse Bastards would get the 3rd here.
As awkward a moment as Allison has faced.
Just a break-up play, and rightly so, gets a yellow card for it.
Soboslai. It's Salah, and it's his regular goal at Old Trafford.
Arrows. Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know what that. Just like you're literally like Lord of the Rings, just like Legolas, like in the heart, like
the end of the first one.
Brutal. All right, let's just get through this. 69th minute double sub, Ahmad for Maguire. Garnacho comes off. De Ligt comes off. I didn't like that from the manager. 70th minute, we start generating chances. Rashford crossing in. Zirkzee headed effort. 78th, Zirkzee at the far post again. Couldn't get it on target, but nice ball from Marcus. And then we would sub Eriksen for Zirkzee in the 86th, sir. Just trying to get through the match. Give me your thoughts on any and all of that. Not trying to skip your commentary, but just trying to get through this match. Just get through it. Just get through the match. Like, get it into the pass on to Cincinnati.
Zirkzee could add a brace. Wish he did. Rashford with some good chances created, but yeah. Dude, what a mess. Horrible game.
Down 3, though, you know.
No, I agree. But those are big chances. That's what you got to be number 9. You got to be the man.
I agree, but the game was lost in the first half.
It was. No, it was.
You can't watch that 20 minutes and be running the show and be like, I want more of this. And then you can't let that goal go in the 35th and then not like shut down shop. It's just a little crazy. And the way we're playing, like if you look at the midfield, it's like a 1-1-1 midfield. It's like so exposed. They're all over us. We made it too simple for them. And look, it's year 3 of the project. If this is, we have to be doing better. There has to be a better system. We have to be making it tougher for Liverpool. I felt like this was easy for them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, all their chances were self-imposed. We gave the ball away or just let them take it off of us. United showed no like kind of cohesive concentration throughout the match. We made it very easy for them, and they don't need much. They don't need much in order to tear you apart. So they had 3 good chances. They took all of them. All good finishes.
You could tell they just knew.
They were so calm, dude. They showed exactly what we don't have. It's like this team has no backbone. That's why we melt late in games. We can't create chances with great players because we like always rush it. That final ball, that last ball, we fucked up like 4, 5, 6 times with good opportunities and just tripped over ourselves. And at the same time, handling the ball like in our final third. And what do you get? You get 3-0.
Looking at the stat sheets, Liverpool had 11 shots to our 8, 3 on target for each, but obviously Zirkzee couldn't get those over the line. Possession, 47% to our 53. We did good on the ball. Passes, 507. United, I don't mind that. XG, Liverpool would edge us. They had more XG per the XG philosophy. They had, actually, we edged them 1.52
Really?
to 1.5. If you look at Mark's stat spot, he had them edging us. That does make sense, but most of our XG came when we were already down 3-0. So if you look at it over time, but not bad. I mean, we did create the chances, just not in the right timeline and not in that first half.
No, and it really didn't happen to the last 30 minutes. We'll talk about that in a second. You see the progression of it, but it was exactly what we didn't want today. Sloppy, shitty performance against a team that outclassed us and made us look like it made the coach look like a fool. That's why he's going to be in the hot seat.
Speaking of hot seat, let's check in with our Dutch manager. How's he doing, sir? That look says it all, licking his chops. He's like, man, talk about somebody. It's like, imagine having a bad day at whatever job you do, and then you got to go answer like questions for the 20 people that are just very excited to just like dig into everything you did wrong. So you got to sympathize with the man. Here we go.
Half time. Could you just clarify why you took him off and when he left the stadium?
I can. I met him after the game in the dressing room, so he didn't leave the stadium at halftime. So why I subbed him was because we are 2-0 down, and against the opponent as Liverpool with them qualities, they are very good. We had to take risk because we want to bounce back. Then you need players in the midfield who can cover ground. Therefore, we brought Toby Colley on the pitch.
Are you concerned Casemiro's in decline? I remember, I think it was 11 months ago, you took him off at half-time against Brentford. You dropped him from the FA Cup final. He looks a shadow of the player he was in the first season.
So I think that in football, everyone has to take responsibility. And I'm sure he's a great character. And he won everything in his career, what you can imagine. And I'm sure he will keep contributing to our team.
I mean, they're making it all about
Casemiro is always winning. So
it's sad to just like make Casemiro the issue. The press is pretty rough.
They're ruthless, bro. Ruthless. He's not doing so many favors. He's too stubborn.
Is that the 1,000-yard stare right there? Is that the
no, dude?
Is that the like look at those
fucking. They're going. I mean, he's getting baited and he's falling for it.
No, he's getting baited.
He's getting baited and then he has like a really ugly moment that we'll probably play. He's just getting baited and he's being too defensive and you have to be like, dude, give us a little time. We played like shit. You just like he can never own it. Just own the L, take the L, eat it, eat the medicine, and just move on.
He needs to go to like American football coach training, which is basically like like the whole rule is like despite all the rage inside of you, you just have to be like, we did our best, got to be better. On to Cincinnati. Like
didn't
it's
play
like,
well enough.
It's literally didn't play well enough. He's a great player. We're gonna improve. We're gonna get better. It's just like it's almost like give him a list of things to say. Like it should be just way more straightforward. But getting to the tactical side of things, it is important to dig in because we are in year 3. And you see what kind of midfield we're coming up with here from an average possession and from between the post, putting together the pass map. You can just see the back line leading. Zirkzee couldn't be found. Garnacho couldn't be found despite Maz getting tons of the ball. And then you wonder why the midfield's wide open. And it's because we were literally playing a 1-1-1 in the midfield. Bruno was like not even seen in the second half. Kobe Manu was like covering way too much ground. You wonder why. And it's because you're trying to play Casemiro so deep. Bruno is then getting stretched, and then Kobe's in no man's land trying to do 2 positions. So the structure of United wasn't right from the off. This is on the manager, in my opinion, because we have to have much more of a solid midfield coming into year 3 under Erik ten Hag.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see like how Ugarte changes things. But like you said, we're sitting back so much, and then at the same time, kind of, you'd almost think we were going to play counter, and we did try to, but it was never in control. It didn't start to get in control until like the last 30 minutes, 40 minutes of the game, because in the first half, we never just sat back and pinged the ball around in the back line. To Onana, a player that is very comfortable, reasonably comfortable with the ball at his feet, maybe too comfortable sometimes. And we couldn't take the sting out of the game, especially in the first half after we conceded that first goal. We needed to just calm things down and I think United just shows no kind of mental fortitude. We always look so fragile, conceding late, just giving up stupid chances, not taking our chances. I don't know. It's a very immature team.
No, absolutely. And then just looking real quick at this is the XG model from Mark Stats Bot. So he has 2.36 to 1.6. There's a huge difference in his model compared to the XG philosophy. But regardless, you can see how Liverpool, the start was like decently even, and then they started getting the edge. And at that point, that's when I thought we should have been more conservative with the midfield and say, hey, Manu, I need you sitting in a 2 with Casemiro instead of keeping this thing wide open. And we didn't make that adjustment because if Liverpool's getting the best of us, we got to be thinking and going to plan B from the manager. Right? And I'm kind of surprised that we didn't do that because you saw what happened. Right? We let another goal before half, then you got to get more desperate. And that's the kitchen sink United. And against the Fulhams of the world, it works. Sometimes it could work against the Brightons and the Southamptons, but it will not work against Liverpool and City consistently. And so, again, also X threat, they got us there too. Not a horrible game by United, but I just felt like we should have just been able to make the adjustment a little bit. Like we came out, Arne Slot had us figured out, make the adjustment, be conservative, route one with Rashford, lock it down like you said last pod. You come out open, then you shut it down. I just felt like be more conservative.
And we showed no maturity, like no maturity in terms of how we play together as a team,
Great point.
The mentality of the team. Because like you said, end of the first half, they get a goal. They have the momentum. They know to lean in, bro. They were going for that second goal because they know how important it would be. We have to know that like it's against us a little bit. Pack it in, sit back, take the sting out of the game. In the second half, right? So if you come out, you're a goal down instead of 2 goals down. Even if they get another one, it doesn't break your back. The third goal breaks your fucking back. So by the time we actually started playing football, boys were tired. Zirkzee was cooked at that point. He did get in the right positions, but we got to mature. We got to evolve as a mentality because, like, we're so fucking fragile, bro. Like, we get blown. A gust of wind blows us over. So we just, I don't know. Maybe that's a Ten Hag thing. Maybe that's just a squad maturity thing, but we need to figure that out.
All right. We have a fun little segment here. We're going to go back to...
Fun. Sorry.
Not fun, but you got to do it.
You really got to do it.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he had this to say. I mean, famously losing in 5 cup semifinals, not getting the trophy over the line, hearing what he had to say, and then we're going to play the Erik Ten Hag clip. I think the contrast of these 2 clips, very interesting. We'll discuss on the other
It's
side.
more of an ego thing for managers and clubs. We've finally won something. We need to see progress, and if we progress well enough and we perform well enough, the trophies will end up at the club again. But it's not like a trophy will say that we're back. No, it's the gradual progression and the consistency of being in the top of the league, in and around there, and then add the odd trophies. Sometimes a cup competition can hide the fact that you're still struggling a little bit. It's more of an ego thing for managers and clubs.
That was Ole. Now we're gonna go Ten Hag today. Let's just get to the other side of this.
So what do you mean? Tell me then. Explain me. Maybe you can explain me which mistakes we make regular.
Constantly turning the ball over in your own half, playing the ball out from the back, getting mugged, chances come on the back of it, counter attacks when you're outnumbered, giving up endless chances in your own stadium against the team's biggest rivals. With the greatest respect to it, we've seen that for so long now.
You are sure?
Absolutely.
I don't think otherwise you wouldn't win trophies as we did and to beat big opponents. So I'm sorry for you. I have another vision.
You would, with the greatest respect, you played brilliantly against City in that final. You almost lost to Cambridge in the semi-final. I mean, come on, let's have a realistic view of what happened there.
I think we won after City the most trophies in English football. So I'm sorry for you.
He's sorry from 2 different managers of Manchester United talking about trophies. What's your take?
The funny thing is like there is continuity across that because both guys in that position, if you remember where Ole was, that was not after losing the final. That was after losing the final and then them getting beat up in Europe the following year. Both guys are desperate. Both guys are kind of flailing. Both guys are like fighting shadows, bro. Ole was making excuses. Erik ten Hag making excuses. So just own it.
Is that an excuse? He said like the real progress comes in the league over time, getting up.
Remember, that's because he got second and
teams.
didn't win, so he was like he felt
no,
pressure.
I know, but I would.
The cup. They kind of just.
So who do you agree with? I agree with Ole. I would say that your real bread is buttered, and where you're measured is in the league. And if you win an FA Cup, right, like we did, that's a great thing. But being a cup team and being a consistent team that can win week in, week out, home and away, is what will show you the true progression of the team. So I agree with Ole there, and I don't like the fact Ten Hag is going back to the uber defensive, I want a trophy, like I'm not listening to anyone. It's like he's got to stay out of the mud. He's got to be like on to Cincinnati. He needs to be way more pragmatic. He's taken the bait from the press. You know, it's back to last season again where he's back against the wall, and then he's going like negative on the press, and that's only going to invite more counterattack. And as a fan, he should be a little savvier just to be like, hey, it wasn't good enough today. We're going to get better and keep his head up. And that'd be a much better message to the players, the fans, instead of being like, we won trophies. Like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't think that's a good look, in my opinion. It's making it worse. It's going to make it worse.
No, I think they are both. I mean, like the message overall, not in terms of like when it was given and why it was given. I agree with Ole because like that is a better indication of how good the team is over a 38-game season. What I meant was they were both at the end of their ropes. They both seem at the end of their ropes. They're both making excuses. Ole was making excuses in that, even if the excuse is correct. And Erik ten Hag, I hate to see this. So it's like he needs to not get baited because we saw the beginning of that interview and they're fucking baiting him question 2. So I agree.
No, they're baiting
I hate the excuses, but they go after him and they're going to be worse now because when you act indignant and you act like, what are you, stupid or something? They're going to trust me. The whole next 10 days until the next games is going to be brutal in the English press. They already hate him. They don't like United and they don't like this manager. So like he has to be able to weather the storm. And I think ultimately that's what's going to make Ineos move sooner than they want to because, like, he just needs to just don't be so fucking flappable. Just relax.
Yes, this whole, like, game week 3, we're, like, already shoving the FA Cup down their throat. It's like, calm down. It's like the Dutch confidence again. It's like he needs to lower the temperature as manager and be like, hey, we're going to be all right, instead of, like, I got these 2 trophies, like, screw you.
Don't agitate the press.
That's
just
like the playground move, like the kid on the playground move. And it's like, you got to be savvier and just be like,
it's a little Mourinho.
You give him nothing, on to Cincinnati. That's it. It's like he's got to call Belichick or something to be like, yo, just like don't answer any of their questions. Just be like, one word answer, on to the next question. Just be like, I don't understand English. Like, see you later. Like that's another thing you can lean on. Like this whole idea, he's going to try to win this battle with them. Once you start fighting the press, you got a war on multiple fronts, and you don't want to see that as a fan. This far into the season, let's get into the fan questions. Speaking of fans. At United scores, we are who we thought they were, sirs. Need a world-class striker. Either that or some clinicality. What do you make?
Hey, let's just start with clinicality, because even if you had a world-class striker, maybe in this team, they wouldn't do much. So let's just focus on what we could focus on and get sharper, because right now, that was sloppy Joe. That game was like we made a fucking meal of it, and we didn't have to.
If PSG came in with an 80 million euro offer for Rashford and Sancho, you taking it? Shout out for County Kerry, sir. What do you say? Are we taking the offer for Sancho's gone? Not yet, but he could be.
He's likely gone, but he's 20. So that
Just say
price
80
him at
million
20
for Rashford. Would you take it?
Yeah, of course I would.
80 million euros?
Yes. So like 70 million pounds? Yeah, I take that probably.
So I would say Ineos made a big blunder not dealing him, because you could have got 100. You know, now you're going to get nothing.
Who's
you
mad
know,
at
for
100 last year? Maybe.
No, but you could have sold him.
He
This
on the
past
PSG
summer,
for like 70.
PSG for like 75 million pounds. He would have now, after this season, if he does nothing, he's going to be. It's like another Sancho.
You're gonna have to sell him to Chelsea. You have to do the whole Chelsea loan to buy.
Ineos made the call. We're keeping Marcus. I don't think today he was as bad as everyone's making out to be. He's not great,
dude. He had those great. He did create some big chances for Zirkzee. He actually
still didn't track back.
No, he didn't. But he created 2 huge opportunities that were like, I know it was a little too late.
He should be the one leading our team in goals scored, not crosses into Zirkzee. But you know, he's a good player. It's just we got to figure out how to use him. At Moneyline Jesus, Maz had a great run out. Casemiro looked trim. Garnacho howler. 2 missed sitters from Bruno. Leach and Magoo were sharp. 3 points and
August 16th, sir. My bad. old questions. We're going back to the OG. Some of those were applied, sir. Some of those applied just the same.
Alex is pulling up the tweets here for the. We got some great ones for the pod. Apparently, you got the wrong fan questions. Everyone's really excited.
Apologies. I apologize. It's my bad. But we'll do it live.
All right. At Grifter10, sir, doing it live.
Sorry.
Sirs, thank you for doing the live stream. I would have thrown my remote through the TV if it wasn't watching with you guys. Thank you, Potato Grifter, for joining the live stream and getting in the chat. It was a lot of fun doing it. This community is a huge reason why we're able to do this pod despite the results United have had. So a big shout out to you guys. We'll give you a heads up on the next live stream. Jumping in the fan questions for Liverpool. At K. Gel Joel, quote, brutal reality check. Playing with this risk against the Scouse Bastards is less than smart. Oh my, the errors are so agonizing. Seen it before. Every damn opponent knows how to beat us. Just press high until we fold, sir.
Well done.
That's
well done. Savage.
That's a hell of a tweet.
Sliced open, just like
right
that
on it, like on the button, like nowhere to hide. That tweet is right. It's like, and I feel like everyone knows it except for Ten Hag. And that's not a good place to be if you're that stubborn, you know? I want him to figure it out. I think he can figure it out. Look at the coaching staff he has next to him. He just can't be stubborn. We got to be changing it. At Nathan Forrester _ the only positive from today is now the headlines will be, should United fire Ten Hag? Maybe the players will get a backbone and fight for the gaffer. Another great point. He was back against the wall FA Cup, showed up, but
we don't want to be back against the wall FC. You know, that doesn't want to be your MO because you just can't keep keeping that up. Ole had a little bit of that for a while, so did Jose. So he's got to figure it out. He's got time to figure it out, but he doesn't have that much time. It's like you got 6 to 8 weeks, and if you're not better by then, they could be making a move sooner rather than later because the next guy up is right next door, right in the seat next to him.
All right, some positive from Sunny SoCal Rob 25. The Toby-Kobe partnership can only get better from here. Damn straight. I would say positive from the game. Toby Collier, the Destroyer. Now that his name is Collier, I can't say Destroyer. I would say he looked good. He came on in a big spot. Wasn't like Ugarte level, but he's someone who's serviceable, can probably play against the Southamptons of the world, Europa League. Like he's going to feature, and that's a really good, a good positive from this game.
I think there were some positives. You know, he looks a player. He's got long legs, high physicality. He was covering quite a bit of ground. I thought De Ligt and Martinez looked good. We put him under too much pressure, but like they showed.
Martinez, something looks off with him this year.
But De Ligt looked good. De Ligt looked good.
Yes.
He's got high pace. He reads the game very well. Him and Maz are a great pickup for the price, and they seem to play really well together. So we got to try and take the positives out of it. Right? Come on.
At Love the Bulls 18, should have sold Casemiro to the Saudis. I give it one more bad loss till I jump on Erik Ten Hag out. Don't do it. Don't do it. At Fairway Freddy, this team lacks goals, and the way Erik Ten Hag sets up, they are vulnerable from good attacking teams. Cannot keep the ball. They're unable to fight back. Other than that, he's doing a great job. Ineos will already have plans for the future. I mean, you saw the photos of Ratcliffe in the stands. It's like
he ain't happy.
It's $10 million to get rid of him, though. And that's going to keep him in the seat.
No, they can afford that. Come on, it's only $10 million.
Yeah, PSR. It's like it's tight. It's really tight.
Yeah, but we're going to sign a stadium sponsor, I would imagine, in the next 3 months. You would think they got to get more money in, sir. Got to get more cash.
All right, this last tweet here, Jordan. Quote: when do we get to be rationally Ten Hag out? And why did it take so long for Ugarte to get over the line if Casemiro is going to play like that? And when do we get to be angry this team hasn't had the mentality since before this podcast started? I'll take the second question first. We didn't get Ugarte over the line because we needed to sell McTominay. So we didn't have the money to get Ugarte. So it was a sell to buy situation. Everyone's like screaming from the rooftops, like, why did they wait so long? It was because they had to sell McSauce before they brought him in because of PSR.
And they wanted to sell Casemiro.
Very clear. Right? They would rather get rid of Casemiro. Nobody would buy him, so they waited to do deal McTominay, the player they didn't want to get rid of. So it actually makes sense to me. Obviously, it's late. Obviously, we're hurting. When do we get to be rationally Ten Hag out? I think it's 15 games. He gets 15 games to sort out his best 11 and get us playing the right style that can take us forward in the Europa League as well as the league. Like thinking about knocking on top 4, 5th, 6th. But if we're 9th or 8th in like December, He's going to be on the block. But my statement there is look at this from a 10,000-foot level. The manager doesn't really matter. This team was put together. Ineos didn't have the money to even put together like a proper striker or a left back. There's so many things we need to do that we're not going to address till next year. It's really a transition year. So, yes, could we play better with the players we have? Yes. Do I think Ten Hag is making it too complicated? Yes. I think he's making it way too complicated. I think he can't understand this league, and I think he's like kind of bottling it a little bit, and he's had plenty of time. So, like, he'll be dealt with. United is a team that's going to be rebuilt over the next 3 seasons. So when he goes, I'm not that worried about. I just want cohesion of these players like De Ligt to come up and be like the starting center back next to Martinez. Like these partnerships in midfield like Toby and Kobe. Like that's what we're going to see this year. Ten Hag, it'd be great if he's the guy to figure it all out, but the odds are probably not after last year and this start. So if I'm being honest, but I'm not that worried about the manager. I'm more worried about the Ineos rebuild over the long term.
Yeah, so I give them November 1st, but yeah, John's right. It's like it doesn't really matter because in everybody's mind, this season should have been a write-off. If you look at like how the summer was done, they executed, I think, very well, expertly, given like the conditions they had. But at the end of the day, it's like this is a long-term project. Erik ten Hag, give him 2 months. I think that's like a fair shot at it, given how long he's had, but the moving pieces. But like if we're like you said, it's just like this season's a write-off anyway. We're building a squad. We have a lot of clear out still to do, even though we did a lot of work this summer. And let's hopefully it gets better. Because I don't like the narrative of just like, goddamn, another manager fire.
No, but everyone likes to argue about the manager, but it's about Ineos and like long term. And it's like this next summer is going to be the big summer. Like this next summer is going to be the big summer. And if Ten Hag's here and he figures this out, great. If he's not and there's another manager, then we're still doing it. And it's still going to be a big summer. But at the end of the day, like $600 million, 3 years. You got to play something. You got to do better than that against Liverpool. And like, I'm not going to sugarcoat that one. I don't have a personal grudge against the guy, but apparently the manager is like the manager issue kicks up fans all over online. I just think we should be more focused on the Ineos rebuild and the positives. Sir, that is the podcast. That was a tough one to get through. The Scouse Bastards 3-0 on to Cincinnati. Everyone enjoyed their international break. Support the podcast. Check us out. YouTube, America Red Devils, americadevils.store, americadevils.com. Ask not what the Muppet Take can do for you. Ask what you can do for the Muppet Take. You need it this season. It's going to be another long one, tough one, but we're going to be here every step of the way. Sir, give us our top 10 downloads last 7 days.
Number 1, how you doing? Chicago, Illinois, Dublin, Ireland, New York, Los Angeles, California, Houston, Texas, Oslo, Norway, Philly, Pennsylvania, Atlanta, Georgia, Charlotte, North Carolina, Melbourne, Australia. Appreciate all the American Devils listening week in, week out. Couldn't do it without you. Oh, it's going to be a long season. A lot of games, even more games than ever. So just hang in there. Don't expect much. That can't hurt.
Low expectations.
Can't hurt. Don't expect nothing. I expect nothing. This is about what I expected.
We've seen it all, sir. We won the lot. Let's end on that.